Welcome to Destination Everywhere. We're on the Wagon in Nebraska, Part 2. I'm Mandy, he's Orlando, and pretending to navigate in the backseat is Abraham, our Great Pyrenees. Just so we know where we are, zoom into the United States to the middle of the country to the Great Plains, and Nebraska sits between South Dakota and Kansas. In this video, we focus on the eastern part of the state, and you'll see why Nebraska is more than just corn and Omaha Steak. It's the backdrop for the Great Migration West and homesteaders in covered wagons along the Oregon Trail. We go to Lincoln, the capital, with an abundance of museums, sculpture gardens, fine local breweries, and this. And in Omaha, we learn more about America's pioneers, the history of the railroads, and stay tuned and I will explain. There's a lot to see, but we take time to admire the scenery, to reflect, and to smell the roses. Come with us, won't you? Nebraska is also called the Cornhusker State. Why? 9 million acres of cornfields, that's why. But do you think you can find corn chowder or corn fritters anywhere? Nope. Nebraska was also a homesteading state, and in Beatrice we find the Homestead National Monument, a museum telling the story of the settlers from Europe who traveled west from Missouri to Oregon in search of a new life, just like Laura's family in Little House on the Prairie. If you're traveling the Great Plains, you'll hear about the Free Homestead Act of 1862 and how the government were giving away 160 acres of free farmland to encourage people to homestead or settle out west. Sadly, the success of the homesteaders meant the demise of the Native Americans, the original owners of the land, who lost their traditions and their culture. It was a hard life for the settlers too. It was success or failure, Oregon or bust. America's first homesteader settled right here in Beatrice in 1862, and the last settled in Alaska in 1974. You know life is not easy when you need your pet goat to help you run your washing machine or your butter churner. And the houses were tiny. Outside on the prairie, the homesteaders would have lived like this, the whole family in a one-room house. Let's have a peek through the window. You can walk the grounds and even go for a nice little hike through the prairie with the kids and the dog. I didn't, because I know there are rattlesnakes. So no. There are no rattlesnakes in Lincoln, the capital city, named after, you guessed it. Abraham, what are you doing with Abraham?
We're at Nebraska's state capital.
And what's that at the top of the dome?
He's the sower sowing seeds, and that's a nod to Nebraska's agriculture.
Oh, well, my favourite part's inside. It's the art that tells the story of two peoples. The first people of Nebraska, that's the Native Americans, and the European settlers. And if we take this gold elevator, we can go all the way to the top for some panoramic views. This is the gorgeous University of Lincoln, Nebraska, and its grounds are one of the city's major attractions with its art museums, science museums, and sculpture gardens. And on D Street, we found the relaxing sunken gardens. Relaxing, or are you ignoring your mummy? Downtown in Haymarket are the lofts, the converted warehouses, the restaurants, the bars, the breweries, and this, a pedal-powered portable bar on wheels. That looks like fun. We were craving Indian food, and we had the best thali at the oven and washed it down with a flight of local beer, just doing our part to stimulate the local economy. I have got 4 local ales, an IPA from Zipline, Nebraska, a vanilla bean from La Vista Brewery in Omaha. Oh, that is vanilla. Oh, that's really good. Copper Alt from Zipline. That's gorgeous, really nutty. And then an oatmeal stout from Lincoln. Cheers. Already liking Nebraska. We're just missing a few more calories before leaving Lincoln, so it's a quick breakfast at the famous Hertz Donuts. The locals told us we had to. Our eyes were bigger than our bellies, but we gave it our best shot. From Lincoln to Omaha, the largest city in Nebraska, we passed through Gretna and saw a street named after me, and this random glass chapel on the side of the highway, the Holy Family Shrine, a chapel for travelers built in 1993. Pop in and say a little prayer, or just check out the gorgeous architecture. Our first stop in Omaha is the Pioneer Courage Park with all its big bronze statues, and they tell the story of the opening up of the West. Around the corner is another sculpture park called Spirit of Nebraska Wilderness. The idea was to recreate a Nebraska before industrialization, with buffaloes running free and wild geese.
So now they've got sculptures of buffalo and geese all over the place. How funny is this? This buffalo got stuck in the wall between 15th Street and Dodge.
At the Durham Museum, take a step back in time to see how Union Station used to be. You can climb aboard all the locomotives and listen through the speakers to the stories that the GIs have to tell. And this Art Deco style hall even has an old-fashioned soda fountain with root beer floats. Well, it would have been rude not to. In another Art Deco building is the Jocelyn Museum, where there's a bit of everything. A gorgeous chihuly in the lobby, halls of modern art, a priceless Remington sculpture, and art that moves. Talking of moving, after the museums, we jumped on our bikes for a bit of exercise and we crossed the Missouri River into Iowa. We took the famous Bob Kerrey pedestrian bridge, and at the very center point, it bounces. It's a thing, and it's called bobbing. On the other side in Council Bluffs is this sculpture called Looking Up. It's made of roasting pans from the kitchen. Well, okay then. Back in Omaha, in the old market part of town, where there are too many great restaurants to choose from, we chose the Upstream Brewing Company to have a little sit down and quench our thirst after the bike ride, and refuel with a chili-dusted 12-ounce ribeye with potato fritters, the best steak I've ever had. And after all this beef and beer, I was glad we were staying at a wellness hotel called Even. It's a new chain apparently, and the wellness part is the pool, a 24-hour gym, and wait for it, workout equipment in your own room. And cucumber ice water. What a genius idea!
June in Nebraska.
Time to slow things down a bit at the end of our trip, and we went to the Lauritzen Botanical Gardens.
So beautiful. Look at that, not a cloud in the sky.
State Park was the furthest north we went in Nebraska. It's a place for camping in rustic cabins, fishing and hiking, but we just wanted to see the tri-state lookout from the Missouri River. Let's take a look at what Lewis and Clark would have seen: Nebraska, South Dakota and Iowa. Oh, Abraham's tired. I think he's had enough, don't you? So that's a wrap for this video on the Wagon Part 2. Thank you for letting us share the world with the world, and we'll see you in the next state.